God damn. It's so crazy that everyone's putting you and Ethan against each other and acting like y'all agree on opposite sides because you're both not angry enough at the other side. Is so silly. We can all agree innocent people shouldn't die both sides. Yeah, I think tensions are understandably high, but a lot of people think not in terms of like solutions, in terms of complex problems, but instead in terms of online commentators duking it out with one another. It's always odd, especially because Ethan and I are in mostly agreement, okay? We might have certain disagreements, but ultimately, Ethan is very critical of the Israeli government. He is, as someone who lived in Israel, who is married to someone who, of course, was a forcible conscript because of the mandatory service that you must engage in Israel, is very much critical of the Israeli government. I think he has also mentioned that he agrees with me. I've talked to him a little bit about it as well, and it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous to immediately go, oh, this is he's passionate, he's upset, and he personally thinks that saying whatever, what was it? Like, I think he said, like, right now, if you say free Palestine, like, you're supporting Hamas or whatever. Like, I don't agree. I don't think that that is correct. I have not stopped saying free Palestine. However, I think that Ethan and myself are mostly in alignment. We are in agreement. My friend keeps saying Palestinians deny Jewish right to existence. What does that mean? Yeah, it's a ridiculous cope utilizing the 1988 Hamas charter and not even looking at the new charter. But even if you don't believe in the new charter of Hamas in 2017, which, I don't really think is legit either, is completely neglecting to mention all of the many atrocities committed against Palestinians that are not Hamas at all. Stupid. He's focused solely on the hyper online people actually saying Hamas is doing good, ignoring that most everyone else condemns their violence. Yeah. I saw earlier today they were salivating on this being these times he burns his bridge with you. Yeah, I wrote something in the Discord about this. I don't know where it is. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. There are a lot of people who very quickly moved away from analyzing the conflict or looking at the situation objectively and immediately moved on to their real goals, right? Their secondary goal, which is to, weaponize the talking points that are out there specifically for their own personal pet projects. Like, notice how most people immediately went to, sweetie, what about BLM? What about this? What about that? It's dumb. Yeah, I said, I love that Israel is engaging in ethnic cleansing and the Amerifats have already moved on to who they want to weaponize this violence against with talking points as they cheer on Israel's collective punishment campaign, Mia Khalifa, the DSA, BLM, whomever has exhibited the callous indifference that ultra-Zionists enjoy in all aspects of Western life every single day. I am, of course, not saying these people were right to act indifferent to the violence that Palestinian forces carried out on Israeli civilians. My position on that is very clear, okay? But those who are ostensibly on the Palestinian side made a crucial mistake, thinking they could cheer on said violence, when only one side is allowed to do so. Never forget, you can't say America deserved 9/11 and mention blowback without people immediately rushing to cancel you, but you can always say Iraq deserved to be invaded. As a matter of fact, many did at the time and have only increased their media profiles. Several lawyers are having job offers rescinded for supporting Palestine. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of that happening as well. Yeah, I know. Edgar Momentum had a really good take on this as well. He's been kind of popping on this a little bit, and he and I are aligned on this, of course. For the record, for people saying Ethan is focusing on Mia Khalifa specifically, by the way, of course he is. Okay? Why wouldn't he? I told you, Mia Khalifa was incredibly callous in her celebration. Like, you can't do that. The fuck? I don't agree with it. Not only do I not agree with it from a moral point of view, but I also don't agree with it from an optics point of view as well. Because all you will do in that circumstance is have people weaponize that against you. And of course he's going to react that way. Bro, come on. This man lived in Israel. His in-laws still live in Israel. Okay? He is certainly extremely critical of the Israeli state in general. I will have we've already talked offline, but we will talk tomorrow. We're leftovers tomorrow. All most people online care about is just simply online commentators fighting one another. It's just like you have to have a framework of recognition that goes beyond online debates, please. Okay? And it's so odd. Everybody always is like, it's the saddest, most pathetic thing to just like look at the situation and just immediately be like, yeah, dude, I can't wait for the show to end. I can't wait for the show to end. It's like, really? 1,200 Israelis died on the Israeli side, and more than that will happen in Gaza on the Palestinian side. Palestinian casualties, Palestinian deaths and murders are around 1,000 now as well. And all you got in this situation is like whether some fucking podcast that you don't even watch is going to collapse. Really? Like, it's ridiculous. This is an entirely, incredibly fucking ridiculous and unserious way to analyze something, and it immediately betrays the supposed moral high ground that you are trying to demonstrate. You're trying to demonstrate a moral high ground here by saying like, oh, I really care about the casualties. I really care about the dead. I really care about the dead. While simultaneously, your only way of analysis is to recognize it from whatever, online commentator has said. It's really, really silly. The same way people are trying to convince themselves you support Hamas even before you said anything, they're also trying to convince themselves that you and Ethan will fall out. Also disingenuous and odd that that's the first thing they go to. Yes, exactly. And they're doing that specifically because they don't care. They don't care about Jewish people or Bedouin people or even Palestinian or Muslim Israelis dying in the hands of the Palestinian forces. They do not care about the entire city blocks in the world's largest concentration camp, open air prison that Israel operates, dying as entire city blocks are reduced to rubble. They do not care about the human casualties on either side. They only care about drama. It is the only way that people can contextualize and can keep up to date with whatever the fuck is going on in the world. We are too far removed from all of these things that are happening. Okay? It is simply ridiculous.